up. You dressed up.
Just
All right.
Practice crack.
That's right. Let's go with the health. Omax is out, and D-Live and Maxi, there will be a update on their health later today.
Coach, Bill Walton passed.
Yeah.
You want to see if any words about him?
Yeah, when you talk about Bill Walton, UCLA legend, he always talked about the Pac-12 or Pac-10 or Pac-8 as the League of Champions. We all know that. I think the Pac-2 is dissolved or is leaving, but it's a legend lost when you talk about basketball. And what he brought to the media side, as a ex-player, to be able to be successful not just on the court but also on TV, and so just understanding that his loss will be missed.
Coach, the Wolves led for most of the series in terms of percentage. What makes you think that you guys were able to push it back and close all 3 games so far?
Well, I think when you have Luka and Kai to be able to lean on at the end, not just offensively but defensively, but just our poise, being able to make the plays at the right time, and they've all been at the end of the game to be able to get stops and then also to be able to get good looks at the offensive end.
Jason, every single player walking off the court has continued to say job's not finished. That's kind of been the mantra here. You had a chance to play with Kobe. Just talk about the Mamba mentality that this Dallas Mavericks team has.
Yeah, I think when you look at, when you talk about the series, it's the first team to 4, not the first team to 1 or 2 or 3. And so for us, it's, we've talked about that in the film and on the court about we haven't, done anything. We got another game at home to protect home, game 4, understanding we know what the series stands, but it's just us, trying to protect home tomorrow night, and that's what we've talked about today. Understanding Minnesota is going to come out with everything and expect, that they're going to make every shot. So we have to make it tough, continue to, not let go of the rope, but continue to be desperate and hungry.
Jason, your connection with Kyrie, how much of that do you think comes from your kind of shared status as elite point guards? Like, does that play into how you've been able to kind of connect with him?
Yeah, it might. I think that's a question for him. I think we've known each other since Jersey. He's a little bit younger than I am. His skill set is a lot higher than mine. But when you look at a couple things we share, same birthdays. So his birthday comes first. We celebrate his, not mine. But understanding that we love the game of basketball. We want to be great as players and now as a coach. And so just being able to, talk the truth or speak the truth to one another. I joked with him about his free throws, that he no longer can shoot the tees. So now he's in there working on his game. And that's, and to make him smile or to poke fun at him, but he takes it serious. I compliment him for trusting me, because I'm only here to tell him the truth and to try to help him achieve his goals. And consultant or coach, that's who I am. I'm here to help, and however that's labeled, my job is to help fulfill those guys' dreams, and that's to win, but also to achieve whatever else they comes with being a pro. But our connection is tight. We believed that we were going to work together at some point, and it's come true. And yes, it might not have started off right, but I think just understanding time has shown that it does work, and that we're having fun. And that's the beauty of playing this time of the year. It's supposed to be fun. I thought Luka said it best. You're supposed to be tired. I thought Kai's answer to Luka, you should be tired. You're playing hard, and this time of the year, it's mentally and physically draining. But Kai is special, and I've said this: his calming and his poise on the floor has helped everybody to keep everybody together, to understanding what the goal at that time in the game, if it's to get a stop or to make a shot. But you can see that his trust with his teammates, because he's not afraid to throw it to the corner. When everybody else would think that he should be shooting it, he trusts that PJ or DJ or Josh or Exum or Timmy is going to make that shot, and those guys have stepped up and have done that.
You've been in this position as a player with a chance to close out a series to get to an NBA Finals. How have you approached this as being in this position as a head coach for the first time with an opportunity to do the same?
Yeah, it's basketball. We're not going to make it any bigger than that. We have a game at home tomorrow that we got to protect, and that's how we're going to approach it.
Coach, in 2022, you guys were in the same position in the Western Conference Finals, but you lost. I know different staff, different players. Is there anything that you take from that loss that you're applying right now that is working?
Yeah, I think we're not going to take anything for granted. We have to earn it, and so it's not going to be handed to us. So we have to go get it, and tomorrow we have an opportunity to do that.
Back to Irving for a second. He has said that the first games he attended as a kid, NBA games were Nets games. Do you recall the first time you guys actually met? What the circumstances were?
Yeah, he was in high school playing in one of the Nike events, and I got to see him. He was pretty good. Just just the way he carried himself, the way he handled, not just the ball. That's a given. That's just he's gifted with that, and he's worked extremely hard at that. But just the way he carried himself and the way he thought the game and played the game.
So was he high school age at that time?
Yeah.
And did
Yeah.
you actually talk to him or just watch him?
No, I was too big time.
Well, so when you finally did meet,
You know that's not true. That's just a joke.
I know that.
Some people will run with that and go,
Right.
yeah.
But when you finally did meet, did he tell you that he idolized you? And
Not in that way. But he liked my game, so it was a compliment. And
when was that?
a long time ago. So he again, we go back to Jersey, and when we had the opportunity to get him, I thought it was a great fit for Luka and for the Mavs. And no matter what was going on off the court, I thought on the court he was a perfect fit. And it's turned out that he's not just a perfect fit on the court, but off the court too.
Coach, Lucas said last night that he's learned a ton from Kyrie throughout this playoff run. I'm just curious, from your perspective, spending so much time with those guys, how have you seen Luka evolve in this postseason, and how have you seen maybe the Kyrie effect on Luka?
Yeah, I think just the trust and Luka's always trusted his teammates. I think you can see with the double teams, he's gonna, trust that the bigs or whoever's rolling is gonna make the right play. Just the understanding of he sees Kai competing on the defensive end, he's competing on the defensive end, and so I think they push each other in a positive way on the floor on both ends. But also I think they give each other security that if one is tired, he trusts that the other one can deliver. And it's not his turn or my turn. It's like, hey, can you take this home? Or the other one goes, can you take it home? And if one says, I'm tired, the other one feels that he has to step up and do his job. And so it's a matter of being great teammates. And we've talked about this preseason of we thought that they got to know each other. And again, in Madrid and being Luka's second home, Luka got to show his second home to everybody. And I thought him and Kai hit it off extremely well.
Jason, you mentioned being there for your team as a coach and even a consultant. When you think about this group of guys and who they are even outside of the game of basketball, how proud are you of this group of men?
I'm proud of them. I'm ecstatic. All the positive words you can think of, and because to see these young men grow, from Hardy to Exum to D Jones, and I'm not naming the stars on purpose because we always talk about the team. Luka and Kai get a lot of the mention, but D Jones, to see his growth this season as a young man, on and off the floor. Getting Gaff and PJ just recently to see their growth and their excitement to be here. But it just talks about our culture as a whole when we can absorb new players from the outside or young men from the outside and bring them into the Mavs culture. It's a beautiful thing, and these guys have created that.
And along those lines, Chris just a little while ago said that the Wolves are kind of dying by the poison they're picking. I know you guys don't need a validation, but do you feel like the way you guys have executed late in games, particularly in this series, has kind of put a stamp on, yes, everything that you thought was going to work is going to work?
Yeah, I think just you have to go through some failures, I suppose, to really believe that it's going to work. And I thought last season we went through that. We played tennis or ping pong with the ball late in the game, but we had to go through that to understand. And I think we learned a lot from last season. At the end of games, we weren't very good, but it's okay. I mean, as much as people feel like they should be traded or fired because of failures, it's sometimes sad, but we had to go through it. Maybe Minnesota's going through it now, but for us, we understand what we have to do late game, and we've done that throughout the whole season, winning or losing, being able to trust one another, and right now we trust each other at a high level.
Jason, could you talk about the job that Nico has done within the last year? He re-signed Kyrie when he got to D. Jones, PJ, and Gapper.
Yeah.
That's 4/5 of your starting lineup.
Yeah, Nico's done an incredible job of not just this past year, but since he's gotten here, being able the first year to go to the Western Conference Finals, to be able to get D-Live and Omax last year in the draft, to be able this past summer to sign, Exum, D. Jones, and then to be able to make a trade. Did I miss anything?
2 trades.
Well, we're going to say trades. Yeah, so 2 trades. Again, he's been a big part of this culture of setting the culture for the Mavs and being able to get the right pieces for that locker room, and you can see that on the floor.
Jason, I talked to D.
Jason, we
Jones last
talked
night.
about the leadership with Markieff Morris, and another example last night, he was carrying Eli off the court. Just talk about his presence in the locker room and how much that translates, just the positivity in the game itself.
Yeah, I think Markieff won't show up in the stat sheet, but what he's done for us all, on the sideline as a teammate, I'm not going to say coach because he's a player. And so just understanding, being there for his team, he's a guy that's going to tell them the truth at halftime or before the game or during the game. And so, again, I mentioned in game 2, he was he had a big play of the challenge that we won. So he, again, a veteran. We need more of those veterans in this league to help these young men on and off the floor, and he's been great for us. He's actually been the MVP, up to for this season for us. If there was a vote, I know everybody's going to say that Kai or Lucas should get that award. Yes, but there's a lot of things that go on in a season that a lot of people don't see, and so he would be definitely a candidate for the MVP.
Have you taken off your coach's hat just for a minute, Coach Jason, and just really looked at where you are?
No, we'll do that in July and August. There's no time right now, and there's a lot of work to still be done here. But at some point, we'll get a chance to breathe and exhale.
What did you do last night? What did you do this morning? Like, what were your thoughts? Just about the position that your team is in.
Yeah, last night watched film and and how can we get better. But also, looking at some things that some people would be like, that's a bad turnover, talking to the guys, being honest with them we truly believe in our defense, and sometimes turnovers are positive. And being able to throw the ball into the stands so we can set our defense if you get stuck. Most coaches get pissed. I'm like, that's a great play. because we truly believe that our defense we can get another stop and get another opportunity, and sharing with these young men that don't feel bad and that there's growth from doing that, and so that's what I'm doing right now is looking at the positives and sharing with our group again that there's a long ways to go. We got another game tomorrow night, and we need that energy, the physicality, and being connected if we want it, to advance.
Jason, you mentioned having no concerns about Kyrie on the court. All the off-the-court stuff that's kind of dogged him the last few years. How concerned were you about that? How quickly did you realize that it wasn't going to be an issue here?
Yeah, I wasn't concerned about the off-court. I knew Kai, understanding Kai is a young man that you can talk worldly, not just basketball, which is kind of cool if you're into other things. And so just understanding that Kai, has an opinion, and that's what's the beauty of our country is that you have freedom of speech, and he has an opinion on different things. You can agree or disagree. You can agree with his defense or disagree with his offense, or is he the best player? So I wasn't concerned. I truly believe you're seeing Kai, the person here in Dallas, on and off the floor of who he is, and he still will have his opinion of what he thinks. And here with the Mavs, we support that, and we're not here to hold anybody back. We're here to help them be the best young men that they can be, because they are fathers, or future fathers, husbands, and we want them to be the best, not just on the floor, but the best in the community.
Derrick, one thing that Coach Kidd talked about, he mentioned growth of some of the guys, and your name was one of the first names that he mentioned for growth in his players this season. Could you talk about how you've grown as a player this year as a Maverick?
Offensively, just being able to space the floor a little bit more and be one of those extra decision makers whenever I get the ball and I'm going downhill. And my team just trusts me to play that way and keep going.
You guys have helped Karl Anthony Towns down in this series. What particular things have you done to keep him down?
Just keep as many bodies in front of him. We know he likes to get to his right hand, try to keep him away from that, and just make him shoot over every contestant. Basically 9 times out of 10, make him put the ball on the floor because we don't want him shooting threes.
Mm-hmm. What's your mindset now that you guys are up 3-0, knowing that no team has come back from a 3-0 deficit?
Yeah, my mindset does not change. It's the same thing. We still need one more to get this done. And until that one more is finished, we ain't happy.
You've always talked about being confident in terms of your shooting ability. You was camped down in that right corner, drilling threes last night. How did you feel about where your game is in terms of your shooting based off of what you're being asked to do for this team right now?
I feel good. I feel as good as I did in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
I'm not losing confidence in any of my game. I know what I do well, and my teammates know what I do well. If I miss a shot, it's just one shot. You're not going to make every shot in your career, so I can care less about missing a shot. I'm going to shoot the next one.
Where does that confidence come from?
It's just always been inside. I just haven't had the opportunity to play as much, or I haven't had the opportunity for the ball to be in my hands as much.
During this playoffs, you've consistently taken the other team's toughest guy to guard. Have you allowed yourself to think back during this run and say, hey, here's what I did in the first round, and take pride in that, or are you just kind of going one step at a time here?
Yeah, I go one step at a time. I really don't. I don't really look at the previous series. After the last game, I probably watch the last game again and just wash it off. It's done.
Even if you don't look back, do you think it can be a building thing where you had success in the first round, you had success in the second round doing that, and do you think that that's helped you as these series have progressed?
I just feel like I'm a great defender. That's what I am. I believe that I should have had possibly been on second team on defense if I would have met the requirements. But I'm very confident in my defense, and I trust my defense, and I know what I'm capable of on the defensive end. So if I ever get mad at myself on the defense end, it's because I hold myself to a high standard.
Derrick, not to take you too far back down memory lane, but what is it about being a defensive player that you really fell in love with?
I mean, it all started where I was raised, where I grew up at. I always played against my older brothers and my cousins, and always played against older players. Period. And I mean, if I wasn't able to guard, I wasn't going to be able to play. So that's why I guess that's where all the defense started.
There are takes of Luka Doncic, like talking to all the best players from the series that you faced before, and he's like always saying something to them, like, how much of a trash talker is he that we don't really see that
He's not that much of a trash talker. And I don't even think he was talking trash at those moments. He just loves the game of basketball. He's passionate. He goes out there and he gives it everything that he has. And I mean, throughout the course of the game, words are going to be said throughout teams and throughout players, but nobody ever knows what is being said. So and we'll never know.
They finally started rotating off the corners, giving you guys some daylight on those shots a little bit in Game 3. Does your process change in terms of how you're thinking about the game when they're actually rotating away from you versus if you have to kind of find other kinds of opportunities if they're sticking to you?
No, they're leaving away from me. I mean, I'm open. My teammates going to find me.
Yeah.
I know Luka, Kai, they are fantastic offensively and putting the ball in the rim, and they're they're almost as good at finding their teammates the same way. And that's one thing that Luka and Kai they done this whole season at a high level. They always made sure that they got to their spots, and if they ain't have nothing, they made sure that they got everybody else involved. And that's one thing we always ask them to do.
What's it like for you, DJ, when you got two snipers out there that can get the job done? If you guys need a bucket, Luka and Kyrie can go get it.
It's amazing. I mean, you just sit back and sometimes you find yourself watching, but I mean it's amazing. Like I said before, those two are amazing talents and they do their job very well.
Derrick, last night when Lively went down, that was obviously a scary moment. How were y'all able to stay poised and focused and just keep going forward in that game?
It's a next man up league. I mean, it's sad to say it, but we never want nobody to go down. But D-Live know that we're here and we're gonna hold him down, and we got his back through everything. And we waiting for him to get back. I mean, we don't know what's going on, so we'll assess by tomorrow and see what's gonna happen. And I mean, like I said, it's the next man up league. You gotta be ready whenever your number's called.
Given the pride that you do take in defense, when you were coming up, whether it was high school or college, were there any NBA players that you kind of looked at and thought I could be like that, or patterned your defensive ability after that, or were you just kind of your own guy?
I feel like I was my own person because my build ain't as great as everybody else's. I mean, everybody think I'm skinny, I'm thin, but I'm not weak. Nobody's about to just try to bully me. It's not about to happen. So, I mean, it's just who I am. I just play defense. I love it, and I take pride in it. I don't like when people score on me.
When you go down, which happens a lot because you're on the court, you get up kind of slow. Kind of reminds me of like a running back, kind of walking slowly back to the huddle.
Nah, but once my adrenaline is pumping, I'm good. I fall, I get back up, and no matter what, even if I fall down and I'm down for a second, I'm always get back up and come back.
What was hurting when you popped into the locker room? And I think at the end of the first quarter or second.
Oh no, I just walked to the back and went to the bathroom.
Well, you were blitzing a little bit before that you hit your wrist.
I just had to pee.
I guess that hurt.
Yeah, a little bit. When you ain't go for a long time, it's just you gotta go. When you gotta go, you gotta go. So.
Derrick, how has this season, exceeded your expectations?
For me, I didn't know what to expect coming in, and I mean, Coach Kidd. When I had my interview with Coach Kidd before I signed here, he told me that I had to work for everything that I got, and I mean, I told Coach Kidd, like I told y'all before, it's something that I've always had to do throughout my career. So it's not going to be something that's going to make me be down, make me feel some type of way. So I never been handed anything. So everything that I worked for, I've got it. So I'm just glad to be here.
Why was the two trades with PJ and Gapper, why was that the missing links to get you guys to the point you are today?
We had a lot more rim protection with Gaff, D-Live, and gonna throw myself in there as well. And I mean, PJ, he does a tremendous job on ball, making sure he keep his man out the paint, and I do the same as well. But I mean, defensively, we have two elite defenders on the wing, and we got two elite defenders in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I feel like that's our recipe right there.
Do you feel like you guys not getting enough credit for being good on the defensive end of the floor?
It is what it is. I mean, if we're not getting the credit now, they're gonna realize it later.
What's this like for you getting these opportunities here in the Western Conference Finals?
It's a great opportunity, to be a part of this, and to know what we're trying to build here, and for me to have these opportunities, to have this chance to play in the playoffs my first time, it's a great experience.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was going to ask you, because you were getting a lot of more minutes early in the season and all that, how difficult is it to stay patient and just wait your turn, so to speak?
Yeah, it's difficult, but that's part of being a pro. Staying ready whenever you hear your name called. Going out there and being able to be ready to perform, and I feel like that's something that I've done good this year. Is staying ready, so whenever I hear my name called, and I'm able to go out there and perform at my best. So. Yeah.
Your first playoffs, Derrick Lively's first playoffs. How is it that this team is like talking to you to get ready for that time, even though you don't have much experience?
We go out there. We like you said, me, D Live, like pretty much all the young guys on the team. We have no fear, so we just want to learn and get better. And I feel like that plays a big part in with our leaders. I feel like they do a good job of leading us, Kyrie, Luka. Keeping guys engaged, and I feel like that goes a long way with us, and I feel like that plays a big part in why we have had so much success this season. So.
What's Kyrie's? I assume there's a mentorship there.
Mm-hmm.
What is that like, and what is the best thing you've learned from him?
Yeah, well, Kai, he's always giving me information, always there for me, and he wants to see me get better. So I'm always asking him questions, a sponge. I like working him out, and I ask him like certain things in his workouts that he does, and it's just good to see that, and being able to learn from someone that caliber of player, a future Hall of Famer, is great. So.
How do you keep yourself motivated, Jaden?
I keep myself motivated. I mean, I feel like that's just how I grew up. I'm just humble, and I'm just willing to put in work for things that I feel like that I can achieve in whatever I set out to do. So I feel as if whenever I'm out there, I feel like just putting in the work and staying humble. I feel like that takes me a long way. So
this is a franchise that hasn't been in this position for 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
What does it feel like to be a part of this team that's doing so well?
It feels great. It's a great position to be in. For sure, can't take this for granted. And it's a blessing. I look at it as a blessing. So just taking it day by day, and we want to go all the way. So. Mm-hmm.
How much has the game slowed down for you? You're making some plays out of the short roll and making some things happen there.
Mm-hmm.
How much has the game slowed down for you to be able to be contributing this way?
Yeah, the game has slowed down for me in so many ways, and that goes to the work that I put in late nights in the gym and watching film with the coaches. So with all of that and my faith in my craft, I feel like that what plays a part in me, like being ready and being able to go out there and perform with the minutes that I'm given.
And you feel like that confidence continues to grow for you every time you step out on the floor?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, my confidence continues to grow, even when I'm out there with Luka and Kyle, and they telling me to go. So whenever they tell me to go, I go. So
Like what they did with Gobert last night, and Luka's telling you to go ahead and go on Gobert.
Yeah, that's all I needed to hear when he told me that.
Going back to Kyrie a little bit, is there a move that you watched him execute that you kind of wanted to add to your arsenal too?
With Kyrie, I like the counters. Like I feel like he has a bunch of counters for anything that's thrown at him. And I mean, with him, it's his pace, not being sped up. And I feel like the way he controls the game, him and there are two closers. So I feel like you could go either way. I feel like when it's a close game. So I feel like with having them both, that's a luxury. So it's great for me to be able to learn from both of them.
What is your experience?
Speaking of counters and Kyrie, knowing Kyrie the way you do, when you heard Anthony Edwards say, "I got Kyrie," what did you think of that?
oh, he gonna be in for a long night, because I already knew Kyle was coming,
Right.
and Kyle liked that type of stuff. I feel like that get him ready, that get him going. So,
What has your experience been, a really high-level defensive opponent, and they're throwing all kinds of coverages at you guys, changing up all the time, trying to figure you guys out. As you're trying to navigate all that, what has your experience been in that process?
I mean, with the different coverages, just reading the game and taking what the defense is giving us, not really being sped up and playing together and playing at our pace. I feel like we do a good job of sticking together. Even when teams do go on runs, I feel like we do a great job of keeping our composure and just leaving it all out there on the floor. So.
Jaden, you've never been shy about representing Detroit. What has it been like this season, especially right now, getting that hometown love? I'm sure they're in your DMs and group chats and everything supporting you.
Yeah, it's great, to have my family and a bunch of my friends from my hometown, Detroit, watching me and seeing how far I've made it. It's a truly a blessing. I just thank God that I'm in this position today, and I just always just remain humble and just give gratitude. So.
Jaden, have you taken yourself outside of your position as a professional basketball player right now and thought from maybe your 7-year-old, little kid self, like a childhood perspective of, I've got Luka and Kyrie as my teammate, Jason Kidd, a Hall of Fame head coach, Chuck and Shaq are talking about the game that I'm playing right now. Like, how surreal 2 years in the league is this moment for you? Have you given yourself time and space?
I mean, really, I think about it, and I mean, it really is just a dream come true when I think about it. And like I said, it's just a blessing to be here. And I'm super grateful to be on this team. I feel like we have a bunch of great guys and coaches that are stick together and believe in each other. So I feel like when you have a great organization where people just want to see everybody do good and push for each other, I feel like that goes a long way. And I feel like that's why we having good success this season. So.
You of course get to see Luka and Kyrie every day, but during the games, is there a moment that you still get amazed, especially when it comes to closing the games, those special moments, like what they get to do?
Yeah, I'm pretty much, they amaze me every game pretty much. Like they do something new every game with Kyrie and Luka. I mean, just like the moves that they do, they pull, or the layups Kyrie does, or the step backs Luka does, and them moments I feel like are what makes this game so fun. So.
You are
what
when
does
you
Kyrie have that you're most jealous of that you've tried to add to your game?
I'll probably say, I don't know what move. I'll probably say, I feel like I could do the moves he could do. It's just the counters and like the timing and his pace. And I feel like just being able to learn from him and being a sponge towards him, I feel like it's only going to like rub off on my game.
It's
so.
the quickness that with the adaptivity with, right?
Yeah, the quickness and like how intentional he is with his moves and stuff like that. So.
I saw a stat that you guys have 48 lob dunks in the playoffs. All the other teams have 59. Why has the lob dunk been such a threat for you guys?
I feel like the lob dunk, I mean, that goes to our bigs. I feel like they've done a great job, holding the paint down. And, whenever we able to get in the paint and the bigs step up, you could just throw it up. Those guys going to go get it. You could throw it anywhere, with D-Live and Gaff. I mean, ever since we got Gaff, and Lively was such a big asset to the team when we got him. So just having those guys to be able to have lob threats and people who can protect the paint is good for us.
We heard from Jason about the leadership role that Markieff has been playing all season long. Any relationship with you guys, and what has he kind of told you throughout the season?
Yeah, Keith, he talks to everybody in the locker room. He's pretty much like the one that like holds the locker room down. So With Keith, he's just like the OG. Like everybody listen to him, like everybody respect him. So it's like a respect factor in the locker room that goes a long way with Keith. And I grew up watching Keith like since I was younger. So I've always known him and his brother. So and I worked out with him when I was younger. So he's a good dude, and I was just glad to be his teammate. So.
Anthony Edwards is just 1 year older than you, and he has to lead the Timberwolves. From that age perspective, do you think, how hard do you think it is on them to have a leader that is so young?
I feel like he's still growing. Like you said, he's young. So I feel like he's still a young player that's growing in this league. He's already pretty much a superstar in this league. So he's going to keep growing, but I feel like he's going to continue to get better. And, yeah.
Jaden, from the outside looking in, one of the things that's been talked about most recently is your growth as a playmaker. Can you talk about how Jason Kidd, being one of the best playmakers ever, has really helped you mold into the playmaker that we see every game now?
Yeah, well, Coach Kidd, he's always giving me, good feedback, telling me, whenever I'm out there, just play my game and slow down, read the floor. So I feel like with Jason, having like a Hall of Fame like point guard as a coach, I feel like it's great. Being able to learn from him, and I respect his love for the game and just like his love for the game. So I feel like
How much easier is it to throw those alley-oop passes that you've completed a couple?
Mhm.
When you have targets that are probably the jumpiest, most athletic players you've ever played with.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy, when I'm out there reading the floor and I see that the big stepping up and nobody's on dropping down on the help side for the big. So, or it's like somebody that's too little to even be able to contest it. So, I mean, you could just throw it up there and they'll go get it. So just reading the defense.
In 3 series in, what would you say has been the most challenging part of the playoffs that you had to take some time to adapt to?
I would say, for me, it has been a bit different. For me, it's just more so about staying ready. And when I hear my name called, just being ready. And I feel like, that's what I've done and trying to be able to take advantage of these opportunities and, just keep going.
How hard is that, though? Because you've been starting your whole life and now you're just coming off the bench every now and then.
Yeah, that's what I go back to saying, always just staying humble. Not really letting that affect me. Staying in the gym, still working out. Keeping my body healthy. So I feel like, that goes a long way, just being a pro, staying ready. So.
Jaden, you've been a part of a lot of teams and a lot of locker rooms.
Mhm.
Just talk about, at the end of the day, after it's all said and done, where is this team going to rank for you as far as a brotherhood? Because media is saying, it feels special in Dallas, and it really does with you guys.
I feel like, all our guys, I feel like we all are close. And I feel like we all, just like you said, brothers. And I feel like, with any other guys, you can hit them up even outside of here, go grab something to eat, something, whatever it is, just hang out, do something. And I feel like we got a special bond with our guys. And I feel like when you have those type of bonds with your coaches and players, I feel like that's good. So.
Do you feel like the moment that D-Live lost his mother, that maybe, even took it another level? Because that really put, basketball into perspective. At the end of the day, it's just a game. We're here for the stuff off the court as well. Do you think?
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad to happen for D-Live, but he knows that everybody in the locker room and in the organization is here with him by his side, and he knows that if he ever needs to pick up and call anybody, we gonna answer for him, and just know that he has people by his side. So.